watching continuing coverage of the 69th United States Open Bowling Championship from Brunswick Zone Carolier in North Brunswick, New Jersey. You're watching Game 3 of C-Squad qualifying. It's Mike J. Laneside with the bowling guy, Jason Thomas. We are joined by John Leiberman from Howard 100 News on Sirius Radio. Welcome to Extra Frame, John.
Hey, good to see you guys. How you doing?
Fabulous.
Terrific.
We're glad you're here. How's Scott the engineer doing?
Man, this is just an eye-opening experience about bowling in general. Seeing Scott, seeing how the lanes are basically getting inside of his head right now. He was doing real well through about 5 frames of his first game, and then he missed what I guess many would consider to be an easy spare, and from there on it was all downhill. So you can see his demeanor's changed, his his facial expressions, his energy level, and I just interviewed him a second ago, and he spoke of fatigue as well. Of course, the Howard Stern show is on early in the morning. He was up at 4 this morning, so now he's looking for excuses for his performance as well to go forward. But he was looking good through the first 5 frames.
There's a lot of that going on here.
Yeah, I think you have to have some excuses in your back pocket. So Scott at least does have the 4 a.m. wake up for his excuses. But
would you say that he has a black cloud over his head?
Yeah, it's the Scott black cloud. But he just told me a second ago to stay tuned for the next 4 games, that he's going to bounce back because, frankly, from what I heard, he looked good yesterday, and he finished with a score he was happy with yesterday. I think 182. So so hopefully he'll be able to bounce back.
Yeah, he got off to a good start yesterday. He was right around our area, and we saw him bowl a couple of good games to start. And then at the World Series of Bowling, Scott struggled more when the lanes hooked a lot. And this is what you're seeing on this squad right now. There was no re-oil between these 2 squads, so there's a lot more dry out there, and that's when Scott tends to struggle a little bit. So
yeah, and that's funny because this morning when I talked to him, he was looking forward to today because of that very reason, the fact that it wouldn't get re-oiled. He thought it would work to his advantage, and so far it clearly hasn't. But
at the World Series, he made a run at the end to get himself out of the cellar, so maybe tomorrow he'll do the same.
Yeah, I mean, there's
still a lot of games today.
There's a lot of bowling ahead of us, guys, as you well know.
Well, so just in your opening, you really encapsulated a lot of the sport in one short little package. Number 1 is the physical nature and the grueling nature of what's happening out here, and number 2 is how deeply between the ears this game can be.
Well, that's what I love so far about. I mean, I'm just a sports fan in general. Never been a huge bowling fan in terms of watching it, but obviously I've bowled. And we used to bowl duck pins, actually, growing up, the real little balls in Baltimore. It's still big down there. But I've noticed with the bowlers, some of them are so focused, like so laser focused on each and every, move, even between the frames. It's really amazing to me. And I think Scott does have a lot of that focus, but he clearly lost it when he missed, that easy spare.
And on the converse side of that, it can be just as easy, if you will, to pick that up. If you can get a break or 2 or a good quality shot, that kind of something to build upon. It comes and goes.
I love the strategy, too. I mean, Tom was even explaining to me how a bowler like Scott, there's less revolutions on his ball, so he has to kind of know the lane a little bit better, know where the oil is a little bit better, and things like that. So it's fascinating. I mean, and a lot of these guys are just strike after strike. It's pretty amazing.
Well, this player here on your screen, Nathan Bohr, he's the leader on the squad. He led yesterday after 6 games on the C squad. And he's off to a good start today.
Do a lot of these guys have rituals, like in between their frames, or not so much?
Typically they do. Different players will do different things, but right before they throw the shot, they'll have what they call a pre-shot routine, and the best players will go through the same routine every time. They may touch their rosin bag or wipe the ball down or blow the air dryer on their hand, and they'll do